your boy Commando Jones back again, another video. I love doing that intro, I'm sorry. But we got a game called ANANTA, and it's honestly kind of low-key GTA inspired, but I'm gonna give it its own thing because I don't want to water down the game because of that. But it is an RPG game, as you can see from this title. The creator of it is boom right there. We're also going to put everything in the description for the creator if you actually want to go over to his channel and see more of this creator. But it's more of a deep dive of all the information and whatnot for this game. And honestly, I also did see this game myself and pretty interested in it because I too also love open world games. Like, I'm kind of a fiend for it. So yeah, let's get into this.
ANANTA is an upcoming free-to-play open-world action RPG, currently announced for PlayStation 5, PC, Android, and iOS. ANANTA was first announced during the 2023 Gamescom event under
that might ruin the game.
the codename Project Mugen.
That might ruin the game.
It attracted a lot of attention due to its movement systems and its open world that takes place within the city. It's a game that I've also been interested in since its announcement, since the movement systems look fun, and I've always been a fan of open world games set within cities. So I've been looking deeper into ANANTA to find out if this is a game that people should be paying attention to, and seeing if its ideas are interesting enough to set it apart from other free-to-play open world RPGs. So in this video, I'll be taking a deep dive into all of the announcements, interviews.
Based off looking at it so far, there might be a couple of gripes, I won't lie.
Information and trailers to truly understand what ANANTA is. But just keep in mind that this gameplay and information I'll be sharing is from various points in the game's development. So everything could continue to change before release. But at the very least, you should have a better understanding of the direction this game is taking by the end of this video. ANANTA is said to be a game that has a focus on its single player, but it will still have multiplayer modes for up to 4 players. During multiplayer, you'll be able to invite people to your world or visit other worlds in order to play and travel with other players. They haven't gone into detail.
I don't think, hold up. Obviously the only game sort of that did that, I guess. Oh, there's probably many games I just don't know of, honestly, so I won't say that. But I feel like the only game that really did that good was Genshin Impact, and obviously, so this game is probably, I actually don't even know if this is from the same company that made Genshin Impact. I don't know. I'm not educated over there, so don't even get at me. But I don't know, man. I don't think that's gonna be something like. Let's just continue. I'll say what I have to say.
You can do while in multiplayer, but they have said that you can do a few recreational things like playing mini games and exploring the city together. But hopefully in the future they'll detail some more of the combat related activities in multiplayer too. ANANTA's main focus is its single player though, and over time the developers have shared what we should expect from the story in the game. Within the world that ANANTA takes place in, humans live alongside supernatural entities known as Chaos. Some of these Chaos live peacefully with humans, but there are others that are considered evil and cause trouble within the city. We'll take on the role of an agent within the ACD, an investigator that has the task of exploring the city to oversee the Chaos and deal with any that cause trouble or go out of control. Throughout the story, we'll need to discover the truth of why the Chaos are manifesting in the world, as well as finding out more about our own background and true identity. The story seems to revolve around our character and their experiences. And in addition to the main story, there will be additional side missions and environmental storytelling that I assume will help to flesh out the world. Throughout the story, we'll also encounter other characters that have different backgrounds and their own stories to tell. Based on what's been revealed so far, it seems like we'll be able to select between a male or female avatar for our main character. I'm still not sure if we'll be able to create a unique appearance for them, but at the very least, it does seem like we'll be able to dress our characters up in a variety of outfits based on what was said in interviews and shown in the most recent trailer. In addition to the main character, multiple additional playable characters have been revealed, and each of these characters have their own identities and powers. When they eventually join the main character,
I wish I could say, how do you guys feel about this chat? Because honestly, I don't know. I need some outside third-party feedback.
Humans that have powers,
because it's not something I can do alone.
It seems like alongside figuring out why the chaos are manifesting in the world, we may also learn why people have these special abilities. In an interview, the playable characters were compared to superheroes because of these powers, which is also what gives them the means to quickly travel around the city in various ways. Despite how powerful the characters are, the development team still wanted them to feel relatable to players and wanted their personalities to shine through. So each character still has their own quirks and flaws. For example, the bunny character that seems to be a bit of a mascot for this game is called Taffy. She's a new recruit at the ACD and she works with you as your partner. But she's said to be a lazy girl that doesn't like to work and is a bit of a troublemaker. But when she's truly needed, she will be there for people. Gameplay-wise, a unique trait of hers is being able to transform her hammer, which is usually used for combat, into a motorbike to travel around the city. The movement in ANANTA was something that caught the attention of people in the earlier trailers. In past interviews, the development team mentioned that they wanted to create a movement system that allowed players to travel quickly and freely without the need for stamina-based limitations.
Thank God.
In many
Thank
other
God,
open
bro.
world games.
Oh my God. Like, you don't know how annoying that actually is. Like, what's the point of trying to cap me? Like, bro, it don't make sense when I want to move and the game is gonna cap me. Oh, yo, stamina. Like a game in particular. Final Fantasy. Now I ain't gonna say much. I ain't gonna say. And honestly, I should really play an entire series on my channel, that game in particular. That'd be dope. But I still mess with Final Fantasy. What are you talking about? But still though, like, bro, I get why they did that though, but still, you know, that be pissing me off. But there also was a glitch where it's like if you timed it right, you can just get like infinite stamina, real ones and all.
Based on what's been announced so far, in order to travel around the city, we'll be able to swing, use parkour,
I don't know though.
Subway,
I don't know how I feel about
rail,
this game.
drive vehicles, take taxis, and swim in the water. But it's clear that the development team has taken inspiration from various sources for the city and the gameplay in ANANTA. According to ANANTA's producer, early inspirations for the game were taken from the 2009 and 2012 games Prototype 1 and 2 and the Grand Theft Auto series, along with various comics, animations, and movies like Men in Black, The Matrix, The Minority Report, and even Jackie Chan movies as inspiration for the combat. But one of the things that was pointed out by the producer was that most of the popular open world games that are set within cities tend to have mature themes that revolve around crime. But with ANANTA, it seems like the development team wants to take things in another direction. They want to give players a similar setting as those games, but with a different feeling and tone. An urban city that's still close enough to reality for people to feel familiar with it, but with fun activities and paranormal experiences layered on top. It's been said that ANANTA will feature a big world for players to explore. At the start, only one city will be available, but it was mentioned that the aim is to add at least one new city per year that are based on various real cities around the world, like London and Paris. The first city we'll have access to is Nova City, which is said to be a representation of various Eastern Asian cities. Nova City is said to contain 10 different areas for exploring, including places like a business district, a beach, an amusement park, public parks, shopping streets, factories, and various other areas and activities for players to participate in. The way players will interact with the world is designed from two perspectives. The first perspective is said to be while players are working as a member of the ACD, overseeing the chaos. Along with doing the main story and side missions, according to an interview, it seems like we'll be able to take part in activities that were previously referred to as infinite trigger events, but it's possible that this system may have a different name now. In these events, you'll receive a notification and you'll need to investigate the abnormality at the marked location, which could be a rampaging chaos. It seems like an example of this was briefly shown in the ANANTA teaser trailer, where Taffy receives an SOS notification on her phone while the city is under attack in the background. The second perspective is when you're not working as an investigator and you're just freely exploring the city. During this time, players will be able to take part in all of the fun activities that were shown in the various trailers and mentioned in interviews, like visiting the cinema, going to maid cafes, going to the arcade, playing darts, playing basketball, taking part in racing, going to the club, watching fireworks, playing mahjong, going to the beach, going to the gym, and I'm sure there are plenty of other things that they haven't shared yet. They say that the key word for this game is freedom. They want to give players the freedom to explore the world and experience things in various ways. In a past interview, it was said that they consider the open world that they've created in ANANTA to not just be competitive with other free-to-play games, but games within the whole gaming market, since they've said they can provide so many different emotions and experiences for players within the world that they've created. A dynamic and unpredictable environment is usually what keeps an open world set within a city interesting, since when they're done well, they're usually densely packed with various unrelated things happening at the same time, which can eventually lead to situations where they overlap and set off a chain reaction of random situations without your own direct input. So I'm curious if the world in ANANTA can achieve the same feeling to keep things interesting over time, since a dynamic world is something that many of the free-to-play open world games tend to lack, and they usually get stale once you finish the pre-made challenges that they contain. In addition to exploring the world, there will also be enemies to defeat. Not much has been said about the combat system in ANANTA yet, but it was said to be influenced by Jackie Chan movies. In those movies, Jackie Chan would often use objects found nearby and integrate them into his fighting style, and that's the same feeling they want to have in ANANTA. Based on the limited information that's been revealed about combat, it seems like we'll be able to use a team of up to 4 characters that each have different combat styles and attributes. We'll also be able to equip our team with an additional special ability, which includes things like crowd control, telekinesis, or buffs that they expect to add another dimension to combat. In a previous interview, it was said that we'll be able to combine the movement and weapon systems together to create combos and use objects from our surroundings, like being able to use Taffy's hammer to attack enemies, but also being able to transform it into a motorbike during combat. And if a character can use telekinesis, you can pick up cars and throw them at enemies, or pick up tires from a nearby pile and shove enemies into them to hold them in place. It was also mentioned that if enemies are standing on an elevated platform, you may be able to destroy it so the enemies fall and take damage. So based on what they've said, it seems like we'll have a few different options available to use when it comes to combat. But it's all going to come down to how deep these systems are, and if it's fun to play. ANANTA is expected to be released globally, but as of right now, we still don't have a solid release date since the game is still in development. It seems like the game will be translated into English, Japanese, and Korean, along with the original Chinese language. And they've said that various testing phases are being planned, so it's worth keeping an eye on their social media and website for any announcements. They could also base the
pay-to-win feature. Damn. All right. Well, so far I came up with my own conclusion. Is that like this game at ANTITS or almost something? I don't know, but it's whatever the fact. Honestly, it's definitely a try when it comes out. It's definitely a shot. But one thing I will say is that listen, I'm not talking about this game directly though. I'm just tired of copying games and like playing it for like at least 2 weeks and it's straight trash. Like I for some reason I've been finding more enjoyment with like free games. And then like playing the free game and then like, and it's not even because it's free. It's just because it's like, I don't know. It feels like the free games, like they put way more effort into it. But like, I obviously know for the paid games, they put a lot of effort into it. But I don't know. I may just be a single player game guy too. Cause I like single player games when I buy them, but multiplayer games, I don't really like buying anymore. Cause like prime example, Call of Duty 6 that just came out. So, it's like, I used to be a real Call of Duty like fanboy. I used to play that like every day, but it's like not anymore. It's like, honestly though, all that stuff aside, really am interested to see where this game takes place and see where it heads. So honestly, I will also be keeping my eye out for this game. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this game in particular. What do you guys like the most? What are the things that you probably want them to change that you're already seeing that's like going to be a potential problem? And last but not least, what kind of customizations do you want? But as always, it's your boy Commando Jones. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.